we see the complete scenario of like how these AV vendors work around, like, so the things is like, from the first thing is they collect samples. Uh, Samples means like whatever files exist on your digital devices, they search for those files. So from where they collect these files, the first thing is data partners. There are some businesses going on who do like those businesses, they provide us the samples. These samples are new in the wild. So we take those samples and we analyze those samples. Okay. And another is client. We have installed like antivirus on your system, like client software. So whenever we see some suspicious activity on your system, so what we do, we upload your files on our lab and then we analyze those files. Okay. And the third is user submissions. Whenever you find some suspicious samples, the users submit those samples on AV vendors, this portals. There we collect these files and do the analysis part. So collection is done similarly. Okay. Then those samples are taken to malware analyst, and malware analyst, what it will do, he or she will what
Hi, Ashu. One second.
yes.
There is a lot of sound from Shiva. Can he mute his mic? Thank you. You can carry on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
thanks Shiva. So then the role comes of malware analyst. He will analyze that file, he will do drive in that file, and like he will do extract some features, and he will give a verdict over it, whether the file is malware or clean. Okay, so this is done. Then that sample will be sent to like to do the classification of the sample. If it is a malware, then what type of malware is it? Is it worm, virus? I think you people will be knowing about these terms. So worms, virus, and like adware or others, uh, first generation malwares. So these classification. So there will be a team who will do the classification of these samples, whichever is given as a malicious label. Okay. Then there will be like a signature generation team. Whenever they will find like this is a malware, they will create a signature, and these signatures are called like a your updates. These signatures are sent to the like client, and those client software will update their signature bases. Signature bases are just a databases which will be containing signatures. So my course will be all around this. So how like these samples are being collected, how to do this, what is the process of this, I will discuss that. Then I will go in the malware analysis part. Then I'll show how this malware analysis is done, like what type of samples we find over the wild. Like there are a lot of samples, like like computer device. If you want to store something on your device, like everything is stored in the uh, form of a file. Okay. And there is no other thing to store something on your computer device. So we have to analyze each file differently. If I talk about PE files, that means portable executable, that can be run on your Windows system, operating system, or your PDF files that can be parsed by your PDF writer or reader or something, or JavaScript files that can be parsed by your browser, or like there are hell lot of type of files available for your device. Whenever some application is developed, they create some output of that file, like some task will be there will be some input and there will be some output. So input output format, they will decide create that thing. Like if I want to create a video player, okay, for example, so the input will be something like sequence of images like video, though it can be a AVI file or MP3 file. So parser will be different for each. And similarly, we have to do the analysis differently for each of the file. There is a process by which we analyze a PE file, like executable file. There is a separate process which we have to follow for analyzing like PDF malwares, or your Word document malwares, or your JavaScript malwares. So analysis depend on which type of file you are going to analyze, right? So malware analysts do this thing. And pre-processing means your segregation, what type of analysis you want to do over that sample. You have to select it. Okay, so that is a pre-processing. Then malware analysis part come, and once it is decided like, yeah, this file is a malware, then it will go to classification part. What type of malware is it? Okay, this classification I will discuss like in uh, in couple of slides. Then once like we have defined the family of a malware, then we have to create a signature. So you have seen like on your system, like this file is detected as a Trojan something Win32 some family. Okay, or like Trojan Win32 ransomware. Okay, so that is actually because of some signature is there stored on your system with the name of that Trojan Win32 ransomware, which is got matched with some of the file which is existing on your system. Okay, so how to create signatures, what type of signatures exist, that we will discuss in this part. Okay, so if we go on the first part, like how to collect the samples, there are a lot of like, first thing is malware feeds. There are a lot of businesses going around who provide like malware samples. There are like you have heard about dark web. There is like lot of business going over there. Like there are people who create some malwares and they will sell. Okay, so uh, AV vendors also crawl over dark web, or they will crawl over the internet or your internet network, and like they will crawl over the, there are lot of repository available on internet, like uh, some are research based or some are for commercial based. So AV vendors will collect these malware feeds, whatever new malware is coming, they will collect from these uh, malware feeds. Okay, these businesses or like research repositories, and they will collect them. Second is, there is a very big portal like Virus Total. They also will collect samples and they will provide to antivirus vendors, these companies, these samples. And another is like client data. I already told, like you are using some this client software over your system. So that system, if there are some techniques like heuristic approaches, like if they find some activity on your system which is like suspicious, they will upload that sample from your system on their they call it as a cloud. Okay, so they will upload that sample to the labs and they will analyze that thing. If they find that sample is malware, they will create a signature and they will delete that file from your system once the signature is created and it is migrated to your system. Okay, then there is user submissions. So if whenever if you want like some to uh, if you find some suspicious file on your system and you think like, yeah, this can be malware, so there are like every anti vendor they provide a submission portal. Like if we talk about Microsoft Defender, so there is a portal for submitting files. If you search over like internet, so here it is. So you can submit any suspicious file over this portal for Microsoft Defender, and they will analyze that file and they will create signature if it is malicious. So by default, whenever your system will be updated, next updation will be done, that time that file will be deleted from your system. So every antivirus vendor, like they make their portal, like submission portal, available for users. Like there are three portal, like software developer, like if somebody have created some software, and if defender having false positive signature for those software. So this is the portal for software developer. Then enterprise customers are those like E5 customers who will like pay for this antivirus software. Like we use defender for free, but there is enterprise industries who take end-to-end point security from Microsoft. So this portal is for them, and this is for home customer like us, which we are working like personally on our system. So if we want some submission, we can go to the system like this portal, and we can submit any file. If you want to, like if you are suspicious about any file, if something come with your email, so you can submit the sample from this portal. So similarly, this sample collection is done. Okay, so this is done. And there are many other repositories. These are like mostly you can say research based oriented repository. And the best one is, if you are a learner, you can go in Inquest malware sample, because they store all the samples with proper labeling, and they sometimes they will provide the behavior of the samples also. So it is easy to like practice on the sample. If you are already knowing about ransomware, you will do the analysis accordingly. Okay, so this is a very good repository. I'll share these slides with you, so like you can keep these in your notes. And another, like whatever like samples I'll use in this for like practice purposes and like demo purposes, or like for education purpose, I'll keep all the sample in the last repository, that is mine repository, Ashu bits samples. Okay, and there are a lot of like commercial based and like portals which will provide you samples as well. They will provide you the analysis part also. So you can go through these repositories also for learning purpose. So another thing is like to write crawlers. So you can write crawlers like there are I told you that there are repositories where you can get samples. I will tell you like uh, for example, this is one of the like good source to get malwares. These will be very recent malwares. So you can go inside this and you can see what type of malware is it. It is a agent Tesla. That means this is a Trojan which will like steal credential from your system. So you can download samples from here. Okay, this is the way you can download manually. Like if you want to do analysis and you want to learn, you can download one. But if you are doing research over the collection of samples, like if you are doing some research project, you want like complete sample list of some family. If you want like uh, number of samples of agent Tesla type only. Okay, so you can't do like one by one if you want to download thousand or like 10,000s of samples. So for that, you can write a crawler over it. This website, like in Python, you can write a crawler. So first task, like first module will be over this. Maybe in the course, I will keep this module at the last, because I want to teach you first what are these families and how to do the analysis of this. So all the automation part I'll keep at the last, but in this collection part, this is the thing. We can write crawlers to collect the samples. Like there are a lot of like portals where you can find samples like in the wild. So you can write script by which it will automatically download all the samples to your machine. then you can do the analysis part. Okay, like you want to do machine learning, you want to use machine learning to identify whether it is malware or clean. That like section will come at the last. I will put this thing also in the uh, this course. Okay, so and there is a very powerful tool called virustotal.com. I'll I will tell you that also. Like if I want information about this file. So this is actually a signature of a file. I will tell you how to create these signatures also. Uh, there is a portal virustotal.com. I think most of you people will be knowing about it. So here you can provide your signature. It will do you the analysis. What is this portal? In this portal, like 71 AV clients are running actually. Okay, so whenever you submit some sample, these all AV vendors client softwares will run against this uh, the file that you have given, like signature. So this is the signature of this file. Okay, so in this case, like 20 vendors are saying this is malicious. Okay, so this is a portal where you can like do a basic analysis. You are not going to do any analysis of the file, but you are giving to somebody else who is giving you the indicators whether the file is malware or not. Generally, like if like the sample is new, you can get this information here. The sample is created on 11th first. That means yesterday. Okay, and yesterday only somebody has submitted it on this virus total, and yesterday only this sample got analyzed. Not so sorry, today is 11th. So this is very recent sample. Okay, if the sample is very recent and uh, 20 vendors are detecting it out of 71. If more than 50 or more than 40 vendors are detecting, you can directly say this is a malicious file. Okay, but if the sample is like less than people, less than uh, 40 vendors are detecting that file, okay, then you can say yes, this can be suspicious. You have to do more analysis over the file. Okay, so in this case, but this file is very new, so people haven't analyzed as much because the file came today itself. So it maybe this file will be a malware. Okay,
Sharma,
so in this case
just I
you have
have
to
one
do
question here. Sorry for
yes,
stopping you. So you are
yeah,
saying
yeah.
that we'll be doing the analysis on the online available tool, right? Whether we are doing any Linux platform application where we are doing the analysis using that tools, open source tools.
Yes, yes. So this is the basic analysis. My entire this is the first thing you can do
Okay,
whenever you
hmm,
find a suspicious file. The first thing, like
correct.
basic analysis, is this thing that you can use for the analysis part. But in this, there is another thing. You need this. You can collect the samples also, because right now we are discussing sample collection. So this is the portal where you can download the sample also as well. But
Got it.
for that, you need a private account over this virus total. Fine.
Got it.
So it will provide you searching modifiers also, switches by which you can collect, like if you want to collect only this uh, your ransomware samples. So there is a elastic search modifiers. There are 40 modifiers which you can use to collect samples. Okay, and you can collect on the basis of binary pattern also. Like if somebody have published a signature, okay, and you want to uh, collect all the samples on the basis of that signature, like how many files are getting hit by that signature. So you can do that also by searching by binary patterns. Like binary patterns means your the code like exe files content, okay, or your like on the basis of your PDF files content, you can do segregate the sample and you can collect them from VirusTotal. It will allow you to download the samples also. And similarly, you can do the clustering, and you can use these all modifier to do your own like query on that this VirusTotal tool. Okay, so this was about your collection part. Fine. Now basic analysis. The first thing in the basic analysis is you have to find what type of file is it, whether it is a PDF file, whether it is a doc file, whether it is JavaScript file, and accordingly you have to choose a process, like what process you have to follow, what procedure you have to follow for identifying a file. Okay, so first thing is how to identify a file, and second is you can use VT, or there is another tools, similar tools like hybridanalysis.com or herd protect. There are a lot of online resources there, so you can use those resources to identify whether the file is a malicious or not. Okay, this is a basic analysis. That second analysis is static analysis, in which you collect malicious indicators. Okay, malicious indicators like if we talk about static analysis, what is the special thing in static analysis is like in this case you don't execute any program on your system. Okay, but the file is on your hard drive, like secondary drive. You will do the parse that file and you will fetch some artifact from it. Okay, on the basis of those artifacts, you will give a verdict whether the file is malware or not. I'll show you the thing. I'll give a demo over it. So in static analysis, I'll go through the like some tools which will be used to do the static analysis. The very strong tool is a P Studio. It will give you a lot of information about the file. Okay, and then I'll discuss in the course we'll discuss about the challenges about the these static analysis procedures. Then in the course will be dynamic analysis, where I'll first teach you all like how to create a virtual environment, because it is very risky to do the analysis in your production system. So it is not recommended to even download any samples on your productive system. Okay, because there are a lot of malwares which will be like they will attack on your firmware itself. Even if you reinstall your operating system, that infection cannot go. Okay, so it is always recommended do all the analysis in your virtual environment. Okay, so in this I'll teach you the how to deploy the virtual environment, and then I'll discuss about the what are the challenges for the dynamic analysis as well. And then in the course will be like debugging the samples, like where you will execute the sample, but you will run that sample step by step. You want to check till what point like malware will do the malicious activity. Okay, you will run that sample at that point, till that point. Okay, then what are the challenges for like doing the debugging, and what is the challenges for the dynamic analysis itself, we'll discuss that. Then the another like this is actually a manual analysis. What we are doing, we are on we itself, like a human is doing like one sample is we are downloading, and we are uh, parsing that sample, and we are extracting some features from it and doing the analysis. So this is manual analysis. So all the process that we will do, we will automate it. So that is called as a sandboxes, in which like you will create a virtual environment, you will give a executable to it, and your automation will do all the analysis that like static analysis and dynamic analysis, and they will provide you like the output will be the features. Okay, and then those features you can use to identify those files. Okay, so this all will come in automation this analysis. Okay, So in that I'll discuss like most popular sandbox, that is Cuckoo sandbox. I'll teach you all like how to deploy these Cuckoo sandbox and how to write Python script to extract features and what are the tools like you can use in the Cuckoo sandbox. That all I'll discuss. So the first is basic analysis, like how to identify what type of file is it. Like if you find some file without any extension, how you will identify what type of file is it. Okay, so as I already told you, like whatever, if you want to store anything on your system, you have to store it in the form of a file. So there is a file structure. So every file, like different type of files are there, like your PDF or like your zip file. So every file will be having their own structure, file structure. But the main thing is there will be a header and payload in every file. Okay, but the header content and the payload, like how the payload is kept on the hard drive, is different for each file type. Okay, so if I want to identify what type of file is it, so that information is inside the header itself. Okay, so for that, so whenever you read a file in a binary form, or like we generally read any file in the hexadecimal, because binary will be very complex, because it will be 0101, so it is not easy to recognize it. So that's why we read any file in the form of hexadecimal, or sometimes we read it in a ASCII format. Okay, so whenever we see any file in a hexadecimal, initial bytes, like if we see 4D, that means hexadecimal is for 4 bits. Okay, 4 bits, 4 bits, that means this is one character, 8 bytes, 1 byte. Okay, 4D. So if we read initial bytes of any file, that can specify what type of file is it. If and we can check it on, there is a like a Wikipedia, this list of file signature. If I'll go here, I file signatures, it, it will give me a list of file signatures. Okay, so if I want to see what type of file is it, 4D 5A. Okay, what I'll do, I'll search over it, 4D and then 5A. So it will give me what type of file it will be. This 4, if any file is starting with 4D 5A, that will be DOS MZ executable. Okay, that means this is executable for Windows operating system. You know, like DOS is for Windows. Okay, similarly, there are lot of this file signature. If some file is starting with 5261, that means that file is a RAR type, that means compressed file. Okay, or if something is starting with EFBB, that means this is Unicode file. Okay, and similarly, lot of file signatures, as I told you, like whenever you create some parser, like so you will change your file structure. You will create a file structure according to your application. So that's why like there are a lot of file type for any operating system. Similarly, like there will be file for uh, Apache ORC. This application will write files with this initial bits. Okay, so this is the basic analysis, the first step you have to do. Okay, so in this case it is a exe file, but file structure doesn't keep only this value. There are a lot of things, like if I'm talking about portable executable PE file, it can be a DLL file or it can be a executable file, right? I think you people will be knowing about the difference between these two files. Anyway, like executable files are those files which having the main function. Okay, and DLL files are the files which doesn't have main function. there will be like compilation will be done on the procedures that are written in the file, but there will be not like the main function will be missing in those files. So those files are used for another programs. That means the DLL files are formed, are built to help other programs to execute. Okay, so those all information and other, like there are a lot of information in this, like how the payload will be stored in the file. That all information will be stored in the this. So I will teach all like each of the these flags that are existing in this thing in the this part of the like this is a part of the course as well. Like this is only for P. I will teach you all others important this file structures like PDF. So what is the PDF file structure? Okay, so I'll teach you that, and then I'll discuss about teach you the doc file structure also, how to like extract information from your uh, Word file or Excel files, because mostly the files you will find like malwares, they will come in your like emails, so they will come in your doc files, or they will come in uh, your this thing PDF files, or some attachment will be there, which will be like executable file will be there, or sometime like JavaScripts will be there embedded with, or sometimes there will be PowerShell script. So I will, in this part I will teach you like how to do the analysis for these type of files. Okay, different type of files. Okay, so this will be the static analysis for these thing, and this thing is not relevant right now, because right now we are taking only two categories. One is goodware, that is your clean files, and another is malware. But there are other categories also, that is called potential unwanted softwares. Those are not malwares, but those are actually grayware. Some, they are something like adware. If you talk about adware, it is not a malware. It doesn't do any malicious activity, but it will do something that is annoying to user. Okay, it will give you pop-ups or something. Or if you are using some coin miners like this thing, uh, hack tools, like if you are, there are a lot of hack tools you have gone through, like uh, there are like third-party tools by which you can uh, use pirated software, like you can create license, or you can do the key generators, you can use key generators and all. So these all are hack tools. So these all tools are not malicious, but they comes in a gray space. So we call them as a potentially unwanted software. Okay, or there is another category which is called as like threat related. These files are not actually malware, but these files help support malwares. Okay, so there will be some DLL files, or like uh, or some license files, or like some file which is helping some malware to execute. So those all will come in threat related. So this is the convention of any anti-malware vendors uh, categorizing the files. Okay, so basic analysis will be like by doing checking the details of the file, like when this file is created, and when this file is like uh, whether the file is in digital signatures. So there are a lot of indicators about the file, like what is the size of the file, and like uh, what content is there in the file. So these all the things are needed to classify any malware. And then the another thing is string present in the file. String gives a lot of information about the file, like imports. If we talk about imports, what are imports? Actually, operating system. Whenever we talk about operating system are created or built to help application programs. Okay, whenever you execute any file, it will need some services from the operating system to execute, and they are built for that only. Okay, those are the common used codes kept in a like in one package. So that the application program need to be write like less number of code, like less lines of code. Okay, most of the codes you can be easily used from the libraries of operating system. Okay, so those imports, like what all services are used by the operating system, like using from the operating system, that all information you can gather from strings. Okay, and there will be like whenever you write some code, you will add some like comments, or you can do some print commands, or like you store some strings inside the program. So those all strings will also come in the strings this thing, and there are a lot of tools to extract these strings from the file. Okay, similar to the imports, there are another thing called export. I told you like there are two type of executable. One is DLL and one is executable, P executable. So DLL files doesn't have uh, main functions, so they are built to give service to other programs. Okay, so though the services that is giving it is provides to other programs are called on exports. Okay, so sometime like if you are analyzing some DLL file, so there will be some exports. So if those exports are malicious, so you have to analyze that also. So that all comes in strings. Sorry. And another thing is like there will be like if some program is getting connected to some IP address and it is embedded in your exe file, so strings will give you that URL also. So you can use these artifacts to find whether the file is malware or this. And you can do the like if I know like these type of files are using network services. Okay, so I can search similar type of files also because I have imports. So whatever files are using these imports, I can search similar type of collect similar type of samples also. We generally call this a clustering. Okay, collecting similar type of samples. So we can use these indicators, that's static indicators, to do clustering also. Okay, and segregation is also similar type of thing, in which like you can segregate similar type of file. Like if you want to segregate exe files separately and other like doc files separately, or like PDF files separately, so that is called as a segregation. You are collecting files, like you are bifurcating, actually this time you are bifurcating files separately of similar type. Okay, and this is also called a clustering only. Then then this is for research purposes, like if you do your own machine learning algorithm on the samples that you're collecting, like these are basically static samples features. So if you do automation on over these features, so you can identify, you can create some patterns which can identify a file as a malware or clean. Like if you ever read about machine learning, so it is a predicting tool. Like it will create a model by which you can predict any classify, like can create a classifier which can classify or predict some type of category. So here if we are making binary category, that means malware or clean. So for that purpose we can use these features. Okay, so for static analysis I have already discussed. There is a like digital signature, import hashes. Import hashes means if you create a hash, uh, before that I'll give you a thing like how to create signatures. uh, where is my okay, what I'll do, I'll download some sample first. So I have one sample, okay, here. And as you can see, this sample is like, I don't know what type of file is it because it doesn't have any extension. So what I told you, you can read this file in hexa, like hex editor, like hexadecimal. So there are a lot of hex editor. I'm using 010 editor. So if you can see my, what is my first bytes? 4D5A, and we already have checked if we find some file with 4D5A, that means that file is a exe file, okay, executable. So now I know if I have read that file in the hexa editor, that means this file is a executable. Sometime malware's writer, what they will do, they will add fake extension, like they will do 1.doc. So it will come like this. But this file is a actually, you already know this file is a executable. So the first step you should do like this. Okay. The second thing is you can check whether this, do you know what is certificate? So whenever a software developer creates some software and he want to release that software, so first thing what he do, he will do take a certificate from some third party, which is a trusted one. Okay, so what they will do, they will give it him, that developer, a signature that we call as a digital signature, that you can check in a file whether the file is having a digital signature or not. If it is a digital signature file, then you can say 90% this is a clean file. And if it is from signed from a trusted like vendor, publisher, then you can directly say this is a clean file. Like if a file is digital signed by Microsoft, so Microsoft never write any malware. So it is a trusted vendor. You can directly say the file is a clean file. Okay, how to check whether the file having a digital signature or not? I have open command prompt. There is a tool called sig check. Let me check first. The tool is there. Yes, it is there. So if I give sig check the file, it will tell me whether the file is digitally signed or not. So you can check the file is unsigned. That means it doesn't have digital signature. So it goes in the category of suspiciousness. Like this is suspicious. I don't know whether the file is clean or malware, but I'm I'm not sure this is like it is not from trusted vendor. So it can be clean or it is not malware. Okay, so we can do another analysis. So what is the another analysis? We have to we can search for the strings in the file. Okay, if I want to extract strings from the file, so there is a tool called strings that is come in sys internal tools by Windows operating system. Okay, so I will go again in the, I opened I think I closed it. So this is the terminal. The tool is called strings. Let me check. I have strings here. Yes, strings are there. So there is a tool called strings. I'll put this file in this. So it will provide me all the strings in the file. Are you able to see this font, or I have to increase the font? Can
No, we can
anybody,
able to. Yes, yes,
you can,
we can able to see.
okay,
Yeah.
great, great. So what I told you, like the tool will extract all the strings from the PE executable. What does it means? Whenever it will search any readable string, it will extract that and it will give it to you. Okay, so if you can see, this is something absurd, like not absurd, these are like some binary language code that it is giving. If you come down, there will be something readable. See, close handle. So these are the imports. Close handles, wait for signal, single object, and create event. So similarly, you can see there is a API called get computer name. So it is used to get the computer name from your like operating system. Okay, and then create pipe. So it will give you the this imports thing. So in here you can get all the information. So if you see, if it is like using get current process, that means it is searching for some process on your system. Okay, if you see here, it is writing file. That means it is using something, it is writing on some file over this system. Okay, it is using write file. If you go down, it is creating some environment variable also, information about it is taking information from the system. And the main indicator is C, shall execute exe a. That means this program is executing some other program because it is invoking shell command. Okay, on that shell command it is executing something else. Okay, and then shell DLL it is using for shell prompt only. You can see one IP address. Okay, that means this file will be going to connect on this IP address. So if you see, this is HTTP, this thing. So mostly it is downloading something from this thing. The name of the file will be test.html. Usually we keep it as a like HTML page. The HTML page will be downloaded on your system and browser will show you. But this, if this is a malware, it will download something. Mostly the file extension will be a fake one. As I have shown you, this file was exe, but I have changed the extension to doc. So it is looking like doc. So similarly, the malware author will be doing something like this. Okay. Another thing is, this is the command used for executing some command from remotely. Somebody is sitting outside. It is providing something like remote prompt on your system, victim machine. So this command is used for that. So we can collect these things like URL, the information that we have gathered from this strings. We can collect them on one thing and see, this is calling command prompt. So it will be going to execute something. And here you can see, this is mostly it will be using with CMD. If you know, for deleting some file, uh, like in hidden mode, so this command is used. So this is it is using some file operations. Okay, it is deleting some file. And if you can see here, there is some IP address with which is with the port of 443. That means it is creating some connection. 443 is HTTPS. Okay, and any other indicators that we get, we already get this thing, shall execute exe. So we got these many indicators. Okay. So if you found these all indicators on your system, so can you give any verdict? This is a basic analysis, static analysis. You got these many artifacts from a file. Can you do some verdict over it? Whether this is file is a clean or malware? Before that, I'll go through one slide so that like you can come across the families of malware. Okay, so if we see this slide, take some time and just match these this thing images to the text. Like what is the virus and what is similar to, like virus is similar to which image, if you can see. Or which is similar to like backdoor, or which is similar to worm. And these terms are actually category of malware.
Yeah,
Okay,
virus
anybody?
was left, top left. Okay.
Left or right?
I think for you it's right. I think for me it's left. Yeah.
Oh, how come? This is like the thing which is like coughing, like
Coughing
system which,
is a virus. Yeah.
so the system which is coughing, is it on left or right?
For me it's right. Yeah. Okay.
Right now?
So left is a worm.
Yes,
Okay.
you got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Right
Backdoor is?
bottom corner. Yeah. Backdoor is a system. Yeah. Left one, and right one is
Okay.
a Trojan, and bots is the middle one. Yeah. Top middle.
Okay. So right now I will tell you these all are a first generation malwares. Okay. And these are classified on the way about the attack vector of these malwares. Okay. If any malware which is actually infecting some legitimate program, okay, that is called a virus. That means the virus will modify some other files, legitimate files. Okay. Those all malwares are called virus. What are backdoors? Backdoors are those softwares which will create a loophole from where a remote attacker will communicate on your system. Okay, it will execute something on your system, and it can execute, or like it can delete any file, or it can monitor something. It can do some malicious activity. Okay, but it will give a backdoor to some remote machine. Okay, those are called backdoors. Worms. Worms are those malwares which doesn't need any trigger. If you know viruses, if you have come across any viruses like new folder virus, some folders file will be there which will be having icon of folder. Whenever you click over it, it will create multiple of files in other directories or in the same directory. So that click is a trigger. Like virus needs some trigger, but worms, the property of worms is like they will exploit network service and they will propagate, they will multiply, and they will propagate over the network. Okay, so it is like the analogy to the worms in the bio. Okay, then bots are the like robots. Somebody will provide a command to this robots, and they will react. Okay, if you have heard about botnets, so if you collectively integrate these all bots together, then that network will be called as a botnet. So these are robots type. And Trojan horse, you already know about the story of Troy, right? They have sent a wooden this thing, which is the significance of like god to the Rome. This I don't know, Rome or Greek, and inside like there were intruders inside. So similarly, if some file is coming with some legitimate program, So that is called as a Trojan horse. Okay, so now you know what are the category of malwares, right? So now if I talk about our analysis that we have done, somebody is executing some commands over your system, right? And your system is downloading some file. It is using your command prompt. It is deleting some files, and the connection is over HTTPS. So what type of thing will be this? If we have seen these categories, can you give some verdict over what type of file this will be?
It comes under worm or bots.
What about backdoor? See, worms doesn't need any trigger,
Okay.
right? Worms doesn't need any trigger, so they doesn't need any connection. They will just propagate themselves over the network. They will not download anything on your system. Okay, but backdoor do the things, or bot. Yeah, that is correct. Bot, yes, bot can be there because bot also run some execution. This thing, like execute some commands over the victim machine, and backdoor also. Okay, in this case, it will be directly driven by a remote attacker. In bots, there will be a CNC server in the between. Okay, there will be some one machine in between of the remote attacker and the victim machine. Okay, so there the indicator that we found on the machine, this file, are mostly likely to bot or this thing. Okay, so our verdict is this file will be surely malicious, and I'll show you uh, how it will be malicious. If we see this URL that is found on this executable, if we search it with the basic analysis, we can go over our, where is this thing? So if we go virus total, and if we want to, we can search the URL also, whether the file URL is malicious or not. We can copy paste here and we can search. So you can see here, if you see more than two this AV vendors detecting any URL as a malicious, you can directly say that that URL is malicious. Why? Because all other, like more than like 70% of these anti vendors, they doesn't analyze URLs. They don't do analysis of over URL. They don't detect any URL. Okay, so that's why only few, and you can reanalyze it, like today you can reanalyze that file. Okay, so now you know that URL is also malicious. That means it will be downloading something from that URL, and it is doing some connection over remote machine, and it is executing some command. So this will be mostly a backdoor or a bot. Okay, and another thing is we can create a signature of this file. First we'll create a signature from this file. So how to create a signature? There is a tool called OpenSSL. This is cryptography. You can use another tool also, OpenSSL. Mostly the signatures are used for algorithm like MD5, SHA-1, SHA-2, or SHA-3. But nowadays people are using, like AV vendors are using SHA-256 for creating signature. So we can create signature of SHA-256, SHA-256, and then file name. So I'm creating signature for this file. So this is the signature. This is actually a hash value. Okay, this we use as a signature for a file. So we copy this thing, and where is my this? So we can check this signature. What is this file? Now you can see how many vendors are detecting this file. 60 vendors out of 71 vendors are detecting this file. And you can see what type of file like label they have given it as a backdoor. Are you able to see?
Yes.
Most of the vendors. There are like many other vendors also, but they didn't able to classify that file properly. That's why they are giving Trojan generic. They are not able to analyze it properly. So they didn't give this, but most of the vendors have given it as a backdoor. And you already seen why it is a backdoor. Because we got indicators which are giving it as a backdoor. Fine. So this is called as a static analysis. We'll go more in depth in the course, but now like time is less, we can't do that much analysis over this. Okay. So this will be done in the course. And where were we? And how much time? Time is over. So similarly, like we can do the digital signatures, import hashes, resource information, embedded files, strings, and similarly, like we can do this thing. Then there is a like these are actually first generation malwares. Then from like 2013, now people are not creating new malwares. They are using previous malwares, but just they are adding something which can bypass the detection system. So they want to hide themselves from the defense system. So those malwares are called as a second generation malware. So the first technique they use is a packer. They use packer to like change their internal structure. Packers are like a like compression algorithm. They will decompress the software, and then the indicators that we are seeing like SKY value and all, those will be not like readable form. Then it will become in unreadable form. Another is cryptors. Cryptors are like they will encrypt the thing. They want to hide themselves from the defense system, so they will encrypt themselves, and they will uh, and you know like if we talk about hashes, if you change a single bit in a hash, then the hash will the signature will be become different. If you change a single bit in a file, then the signature that is built from that file will be totally different. Okay, that is a property of a uh, hash hash algorithm that is called as a diffusion. If you have read in this thing cryptography, there are two properties, diffusion and confusion. So there is some property which used to confuse the analyst, like cryptanalysis, and there is a thing, another property called diffusion. That means if you change a single bit, it will be diffused in the complete digest. Okay, so there is a technique like packers and all. Like I'll give a simple demo for packer. Like if we go here, you know, if you have ran this string command over this file, you got these strings, right? So if I want to like hide these strings, so there are a lot of packers available on in the market. Okay, a simple one I have on the system. Let me check if I have UPX. Yeah, so I have one packer called UPX. Okay, so if I pack this file, the file, where is the file? Here is the file. Okay, if I want to pack this file, what I'll do, UPX simple one.doc. So my file got packed. Okay, now if I want to find the strings in the file, now you can see there are some imports. that I will tell you why they are visible. But other than that, everything got unreadable. The indicator that we were seeing before, now we are not able to see them, because now the file got decompressed and it changed its internal structure. Like if you uh, decompress any video file, then your parser cannot read that file, right? First you have to decompress that file, then and only that video player can run that file. So similarly, these are self decompression, self decompress executables. If you see, the file will be, after decompression also it can execute, because it will be having one packer attached with this file. First that packer will execute, and then the inside file will be execute. Okay, that means there is one packer wrapped over the file. Okay, and because of that packer, you can still, because that packer will execute, and because of that, these this imports are still visible, because these imports are used by that packer. But the file that is inside it, it got pegged, decompressed, like pegged, compressed. Okay, and because of that, now you can't find any indicator that what you were previously getting. Okay, so this is the technique by which any malware author used to change the internal structure. And now if you create a signature of this file, we have used OpenSSL, and now I have changed it to exe. So now you check, the signature is completely changed. Previously the signature was different, and now it is totally different. Okay, so this is the technique by which malware author change their structure. Okay, and there is the analysis by which you can still you can do this detection by using debuggers. Okay, that will be the inside the case, but it will take time. It will take 4 to 5 hours to demonstrate how to reverse these type of files, pegged files. Okay, so I'll in the course I will teach these packer, cryptors, and then I will teach these things, and then I will go for dynamic analysis and what are the indicators we check in dynamic analysis, that I'll teach you, and I'll do the case studies as well, and then I will teach you all like what is virus environment and how to deploy that. That I'll teach, and then where you can find the images for virtual environment you need some operating system like Linux or your Windows. So where you can download these this thing, they are available for free also. And then I'll tell you how to analyze the cryptors also. I'll do the demos, and I'll teach you with the recent this malwares. And then I'll at the last for 10 hours I'll teach you automation, how to do the all the things that I will teach you in this course, how to automate those things in in your Python code, or in your Java code, or in the Vika course, or the R code. You can choose anything and you can do the automation part, and you can use machine learning, and I'll give some sessions on how to do machine learning on this malware analysis, that also. And then challenges of dynamic analysis, how to still evade dynamic analysis also. So those process injection and fileless malwares, we'll discuss about that, and we'll do the demos for that also too. And then I'll teach you, I have told you how to create a signatures. There is another category called loose signatures also, which will identify not only one file, it will identify the complete family. Okay, So that I'll discuss, and then like how to like label a malware. So that I'll teach you. Then second generation malware, like how a virus, like that this generic signatures writing, that I'll discuss about you, and challenges like anti-malware vendors are facing, that I'll discuss at the last. And this will be like very good if you people want to do some research over this malware analysis, like you want to do real like research articles or something. From here I can give you some topics where you can uh, get something like some area where you can work over, or like you can get some interest over the things and you can go for it. And like and still like there are some challenges for this uh, sandboxing also, so that I'll discuss, and what are the things that malware's author do to create like things which can be easily bypassed by dynamic analysis or sandboxes. And then machine learning I'll discuss. And thank you.